Hello everybody, I am back from my little vacation. My birthday celebration went awesome. My birthday stream was a lot of fun as well. I kind of messed up, honestly. We did a stream on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be in the live section on my channel. Had some problems with the connection. It is what it is, but we had a lot of fun anyway. We got to test out the tent. Went out to Obama, we hung out at the beach, we did barbecue, all the good stuff. And yeah, just had a really nice time. So we are back now, and as promised, we've got a huge replay pack of recent Larva games, and they're all going to be versus Rich. So strap in, guys. Lots of Larva ZVP against a really strong ladder Protoss player. He's been hitting all the big pros on the ladder. And for whatever reason, he just played so many games versus Larva. Probably this happens when both players play super late at night. I believe that's kind of the way it goes. Like, if you're on in Korea at the highest level, and you're playing at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, something like that, you're probably going to be hitting the same person over and over and over again. There's just not that many people online at a time like that. So that's just what I think happened. I'm not 100% on that. Looks like we had a pause there. Not really sure what that's all about, but Rich here going to be scouting out a Larva. And, you know, we've seen Larva kind of do well and then not do so well and kind of be back and forth here on the channel when it comes to these ladder games, but I think we're going to see something special out of him here today. We're going to watch the first 5 games of this series, and then there's going to be another 5 games, and then another 5 games, and I think that is going to be the end of it. About 15 games in this series. So, guys, just strap right on in. This is going to be a 3-video series here, because I'm going to break it up a little bit at least. Just give myself a bit of a break in that regard. And yeah, we're just going to see how this guy's doing, how Larva is progressing here, and how he's stacking up in this matchup. Oh, great catch there on the Zealot as it was trying to go up the ramp. And that second one is going to get wrecked. So, enough lings were made. The Zealot... Early Zealot pressure has been handled correctly. We're going to have that layer here started soon, I imagine. But went for speed before layer. So the timing on this might be a little ways off. He actually went for Cybercore before Forge. Larva actually needs to get something done here. He needs to get something done with this ling speed. Otherwise, that Stargate is going to finish up a bit too soon. Corsairs are going to come out way before there's a Spire available. But the cannon is quite late. You can see the Stargate starts. Is he going to start a cannon here? No. So, this is a bit troublesome. It's a bit troublesome here for Larva, and he's not putting on that heavy pressure I was talking about. 4 more lings do hatch. In fact, 6 lings total. So I imagine we're going to see a cannon get started. Yeah, he does start one. Definitely wants to negate some of that pressure. Spire in the front here. Pretty interesting spot for the Spire. I personally really like to put the Spire in behind the minerals at the natural. I think that that's a pretty strong way to play, because so often the Protoss player is just going to run by into the main to try and kill that Spire when they have the chance. And if you put it in the natural, you can kind of defend it easily with drones, and you've got your Sim City all set up. They're just not used to targeting it down in the natural, so it can be pretty powerful to place it in that location. This is kind of a crazy spot to stick it, though. Right at the front there is a little bit wild. We'll see if that ends up helping or hurting Larva in this game. You can see Spire is a about to finish here, about 80% as the first Corsair makes it over. So looks like he may lose like 1 to 2 Overlord. I guess just 1 Overlord's going to end up going down here. As long as you start hitting the Overlord before the Spire finishes, you should be able to get the kill and get out. Now he's going to fly through. Hasn't spotted an Overlord here just yet. And as he flies in, sees the Spire, there's actually no Overlord spotted here. Very good hiding of these Overlords by Larva, putting them in little corners and keeping them hidden. We should see... Oh, actually, this Overlord's pretty well hidden as well. He really pulled that back far and quickly. And so, not really going to get any Overlords here. It's a pretty strong play from Larva, considering, you know, we had the Cybernetics core before Forge, and there was speed before Spire. He's actually managed to navigate this pretty darn well. Has his 6 hatcheries up and 36 drones. So there's a very good potential for Larva in this game. He's also getting armor here as well. Just now getting into that second gas. And so as he mines that up with no third gas, I imagine we're going to see a big round of Hydras. Indeed, 8 Hydras are now on the way. +1 is coming up here. And so sitting on about 39 workers before starting that production. This is a very good spot for Larva. Usually you stop at about 35. Pump out about 2 groups of Hydras. And then switch back into drone production, back up to 45. This is kind of a little bit of an example of like how difficult it can be to balance the economy as a Zerg player. You really have to know when to switch in and out of that Hydraless production. And it seems like drone production, excuse me. When can you sneak out the drones? This is a really good block by Larva, but can the Zealots actually slip through here? 1 gets through, but the drones are pulled. Very nice hold here. He's buying that extra time because he doesn't quite have the Hydraless number just yet to fully defend. A big Zealot attack makes use out of that building there. Is going to be able to keep himself safe. A lot of Overlords being made right now. Some drones as well. Now that he's held everything, time to get back into that drone production. Get 12 workers per mineral line so that he can really start to produce. Over here for Rich, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total gateways. Not a lot of production here, but 7 and 8 are going to start now. Still rotating around with these Zealots, but hasn't been able to do much to slow down Larva so far. Larva's going to get really big in this game, I think. Just now taking that third gas. Bit of a later third gas here as he surpasses that 44 mark. Immediately going to throw down his 4th base. 9-minute 30. Gonna start that up. Let's see if he wants to get Lurker Aspect now that he's got the 3rd gas on the way. I think that's a good time to begin that upgrade. Right as you are opting for that 3rd base, or that 4th base, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me, 3rd gas, 4th base. That's when you really want to up the production on that gas. That's when you want to start the Lurker upgrade. And it looks like he's not going to do that. Queen's Nest, 2nd Evolution Chamber on the way. 8 drones being made here. Dark Templar managed to slip by. This is not really going to go well for Larva. Oh, I hate to see it. Running up to the wall here of the Protoss player. You know he's going to have those defenses ready. Those storms are going to be there. And now multiple Overlords are going to go down. And a lot of Hydras ended up falling as well. Ooh, this is a very good move from Rich. The hold position Dark Templar in the mineral line is actually going to cause him a lot of problems. 7 kills, 8 kills now. Hydra's coming up to defend, but it's too late. The DT slips out again. 8 kills is pretty rough. Still no lurker upgrade. I'm a little worried for Larva in a situation like this. Not making any lurkers right now. It could be a little bit painful. So it's going to make their way up onto this high ground, targeting down the Corsairs if he can. Trying to get rid of some of those as they go to work on these Overlords, though. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to save them. Oh, could lose this Evolution Chamber as well. The +2 attack upgrade is going to be the target here for Rich. Zealots hitting on both sides, and there it is. It goes down. The upgrade is going to be denied here, and Larva finally starts his lurker aspect as he begins the hive. 10 Overlords in production is a little bit wild. Third base is coming up. There may be an opportunity to counter, as the Zealots, a lot of them were cleared during that last attack. Oh, shuttle going into the main right now. Oh, the Overlord spread is not that good. I think we're going to see Larva get just torn apart here. Rich sending the DT into the main as Larva's engaging this. DT here with 11, 12, 13 kills now. Absolutely eviscerating this mineral line. It is so painful to watch. 18 kills, guys. 18 kills, 19, 20, 21 kills. Can go to the natural now if he wants, or just hide in the corner. Looks like Larva may have now figured that out. He's making a lot of lurkers back at home. Still on 45 drones, but this is so painful. He's going to have to batten down and try to just survive these next few minutes if he wants to continue on in this game. He's gone for triple upgrade after getting denied there before. Finally, he sends Hydras back into the main. I think he actually just realized this. That's crazy. Corsairs in the top right. I thought that was actually, it kind of looked like cannons being built over there. That's kind of funny. Traumatized. My trauma response there. Immediately freaking out. A lot of Dragons moving forward here. If there's not enough Hydras and Lings, it's going to be hard to defend this. Goes after the Observer. Nice move there. Getting rid of that Observer. Oh, Larva. You gotta move here, man. He must see that shuttle. Okay, he does see it. Get rid of the... Yes, he does get it. Big moment there for Larva. Getting rid of that pesky DT. That DT had so many kills. That was a 20 kill DT. Or even more than 20. But I believe it was just 20. Lurkers spread everywhere. Hydras on the ramp. Those are for emergency lurkers to try and block that ramp if necessary. A fourth base is on the way here for Rich. And he's roaming with kind of a scary... He doesn't have that many Zealots here. But he is going to send his Zealots over to the center left to deny this fifth base. We'll even block the Hydras from coming down the ramp. That's very annoying. Not going to allow those to escape. Take a look at the upgrades right now. +1 armor. 1-1 is done. 2-2 is about to finish as well. Finally going to have that second attack upgrade for the Hydras coming online here shortly. He has got the amulet upgrade. Pushing into the natural. Let's see if he can launch himself in here. Get some good storms. And then back out successfully. Some Hydras getting baited in. Some Lings as well. Making a bit of a trade here. Trying to lodge himself in this position. Lurker's going to come down this ramp here soon. A lot of Lurkers running forward right now, diving right on top of the Dragoons. Is he actually going to wipe out these Dragoons? Oh my goodness. Some very good Lurker spines there, killing a lot of these Dragoons. But up here on the high ground, Zealots are getting to work on the drone line. Hydras are not reacting. The first Defiler finally came out, but so many drones have fallen. Still, 56 workers, not the worst here right now for Larva. He can still hang in. if he manages to get this Defiler. He actually lost the Defiler, so he's not going to be able to get the spells that he needed. He needs to get Plague going here yesterday. Plague needs to be done yesterday. He needs to start chaining those Plagues together if he wants to have a chance at coming back in this game. He's falling behind in bases now. It is possible to hang as the Protoss player if you've got the same, as a third player, if you've got the same bases as the Protoss and you're going Hive. But once you start to fall behind in bases, it's no longer viable. Lurker eggs here on the ramp, not able to block everything. Lurker's running up the ramp, trying to save the day, but everything is dying as it's popping out of the hatcheries. He's going to start to target some of these hatcheries as well. Sunken Colony finishes up, but the hatchery goes down. And Larva's on the brink of defeat here. Been a little bit outmaneuvered by Rich in game number 1. Gotta say, it's been kind of a pattern on the channel. Larva getting beaten down by tough ladder opponents. People I don't think could stand up to him and really haven't been able to get into ASL themselves. At least not in a consistent way. Are seeming to be just able to beat up on Larva right now. He's, I don't think slumping, but he is really having a hard time in these casual matches. Delts here have that 2-2 +3 upgrade is on the way. Starting to transition into Reavers, as he should. There should be, okay, no Reavers out just yet. It looks like just Speed Shuttle is going to be the follow-up, or coming up next. He may want to start adding on Reavers as well. Yeah, there's a, another Robo being made. That's definitely a good move. Are we going to see a Plague finally? Big Plague? There it is. Big Plague here on these Zealots. But he actually needs to consume again and Plague again. There's quite a few units down here, and he is going to get some very good storms as well. This Defiler not really getting any additional value here just yet. And the Lurkers coming up from behind are not going to do too well. Lurker up here on the high ground. Ling's coming down for the flank. Army is starting to thin out here, and so Rich will be pushed back for now. There's the first hints of another base in the top right-hand corner. Rich looking towards that sneak base there. Just getting a probe into top right. Looks like that's not going to happen, though. Ling response is quite good. Larva still has a chance in this game. He could make this into a comeback. It's not over by any stretch, but it is a hard game from here. Definitely, it's tough. He's really going to have to grind it out with Plagues. Oh, trying to hide a pylon over in that bottom right. So annoying. He might actually get a bunch of cannons up here, regardless of all the good work done by Larva. Excellent job denying bottom right. Lings over here. Looks like they're all going to die. Yeah, they are going to get cleaned up here. Getting the Metasynaptic node. Prepping for that late game with triple upgrade. Let's take another look here. +2/+1. And +2/+2. Looking pretty strong here for Larva with the upgrades at least. Base going to go down in the bottom left as this base starts to come up here. Top right is at least going to try to take that. High Templar Storm drop coming through this top center. Yeah, this is going to be hard to defend properly. Good job there, pulling the drones away in time, but this is not yet over. More drones are going to end up falling, and the Scourge will just never connect with this if you keep the shuttle moving. And in fact, only one. Oh my god. Oh, it's so painful. That was an insanely good storm, killing off like 10 workers there with just the one, and he gets out with the shuttle as well. Bases down in the bottom left are being taken, but that was a huge hit to the Zerg economy. He's really going to be struggling to recover from that. Get his drone count back up to a sustainable number while trying to defend this roaming army of Protoss and keep the base down in bottom left alive. Very tall order at this point. We'll see if he's able to keep it going. Reavers out here as well, as the Archon count continues to grow. Plagues are being thrown down here and there. Might be able to get a plague on this Reaver plague. No, not able to get it. Unfortunately, will not be able to plague those Reavers. You absolutely have to get the plague on these Reavers right now if you ever want to end up killing those. Gonna go for the consume there, as everything gets shoved back. Cannons have been made on this high ground, and so that base in top right is relatively secure. Oh, Reavers over here. Can he get the plague off? Just plague it. What are we doing? Oh, he doesn't have it. It's like, unfortunate there. Larva really trying to get another nice plague on that army, but missing out on the opportunity. There goes the Defiler as well. Big kills here at the 5th base. Almost every single drone going down at that location. Oh, can he get it? He will get the double Reaver. Both Reavers go down. 44 drones remain. Army in the center. Not looking that powerful. Where is all the supply? Okay. I see. 2 Archons in a shuttle and 4 DTs is crazy work. We'll see if he's able to get anything done with those drops. He's probably aiming for the main, if I had to guess. Let's see if he can get through here. Ooh, he's not paying attention. Oh my gosh, the one with 2 Reavers went down. Ouch. That is really painful right now. Throwing away 2 Reavers for free there is definitely hurting. Defiler mound may end up falling, but all the research has been done, and there are Defilers on the field, so you can remake that without too much trouble. Army making its way down to the bottom right, though. This is where the rubber hits the road. If this base doesn't survive, Larva is going to have to leave this game. He has to keep this alive. Going after the... Oh, he only gets 1 of the observers. Only 1 observer goes down. Gonna try to make an egg there on the ramp. Not able to get it done. Nidus. Nidus is so close. Oh, he cancels it. He cancels the Nidus. He's gonna run the drones. Yeah, this might be it, guys. Rich breaks up onto the high ground. He's done enough to just stifle the economy and put Larva into a bad enough position where, yeah, he just can't continue on in this game. Not with this base on high ground being alive. He's gonna just go for a counter and see what he can do, but there are so many units at the rally point. These lurkers just cannot find purchase anywhere. Lings are gonna come rushing in right now. There is a Defiler. He will be able to drop Dark Swarms in good position, but now the Defiler is gone. There's even a Dark Templar here. There's 2 Reavers defending this, and so many Storms ready to block this attack. Larva is in his death throes here as he tries to break up this hill. Gotta be GG now. Gets thrown back, and there's just not much left. Almost all of the mineral patches are empty. Only 41 drones remain. And so with that base in top right, getting full saturation, there's really not much hope left. Larva gonna throw it all against the wall one more time, see if he can make it happen. 4 Reavers here on high ground is nasty. Yeah, you're just not gonna be able to push through that. Plague on top of these Reavers means they are technically pushable now, but there's just not enough stuff. Not enough stuff here at all. 70 supply advantage. Base in the bottom left is going to be remade now, as Larva tries desperately to hang in there. He's sent units over here towards the top right, but he's going to be very disappointed to see that there are Reavers and cannons up there, and he may indeed just tap out the moment he sees that. Can't imagine he's surprised, but he's going to be pretty unhappy. +3, +2 is done. Just about to finish the last upgrade for that armor. Usually the Protoss players don't get that last armor upgrade. They start to focus on more plasma shields just because Plague really negates that so well. But Larva's been having a hard time plaguing all these units. Looks like a drop comes through. Not sure exactly what was in there, but the drop has been denied. Zealots up here on the high ground, still going to be fighting quite well, considering they haven't been plagued here. More Lings popping out, more Lurkers as well, trying to hold the line at this 5th base. He must keep this alive. I don't see an observer here. Where are all the observers right now? So many Zealots are going to die to these Lurkers, by the way, because they're just getting money hits on these Zealots, but it's just not enough. GG is called. Larva taps out of game number 1. All right, guys, game 2 here on Knockout. Larva in the top right, Rich top left. Fun map. Very fun map. I do like this one quite a bit as I've gotten more used to playing it. I think it's a really solid one. Has a lot of room for play. It does have some pretty difficult map features when it comes to playing Zerg versus Protoss. There's so many different ways into a lot of these bases that it can be difficult, but I'm not a dislike. I don't dislike difficulty. I enjoy a challenge. That's why I'm a Broodwar player. I like to be challenged both mentally, physically, and of course my patience. Grinding on my nerves. It is funny, like, I wonder if there's a good word for that. I'm gonna change the colors here. I don't like brown. I wonder if there's a good word for that. Like, you know, there's people who are introverted and there's extroverts, people who get the feeling of energy, like they get energy from playing with others, from talking with others. And then there's introverts who need to be alone to recharge. Then there's people who want to just like mindlessly play a grindy video game in order to recharge when they feel tired. And then there's people who enjoy and like get energy from playing a game like this that just takes so much out of you. It's not like an introvert extrovert thing, but I really do feel like there's a certain type of person who likes this type of game as like a relaxing thing or like a hobby. What they do when they get home after work and they just want to chill out to go play some Broodwar. It takes a certain type of person, definitely. I thought there might be a word for it. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Very good surround here from Larva. Might get a drone. Oh, he found the drone that was actually injured earlier. That is a pretty good target. And target selection as well from Rich. Walking into the drone line and clicking each drone to figure out which one had been hit earlier. Manages to get the kill on that. The follow-up, the alley-oop to finish that off. He's making a shield battery back at home because he's worried about getting kind of Ling overwhelmed here in the natural. This forge is a little bit slow. Gonna make the cannons now. That is a lot of Lings. Pretty good control so far from Rich. Hanging in there. But a lot of Lings here. As they get to work on that gateway. Zealots are forced to at least slow down some of this damage. Oh, he's gonna get the catch. He gets the catch just barely on that Zealot. Very good catch there. Oh, and the run by. Not quite. He does get the surround, though, on that other Zealot there on the top side. Good use of the shield battery here. And now that the cannon is done, these zealots can do a bit of stutter step micro. Attacking and then backing up, forcing the lings to come forward so that the cannon can deal more damage, has more time to deal damage. And so this is pretty well held. Now the onus is on Larva to remake some of those lings that were lost earlier in that pressure and deal with these 3 zealots. They actually might turn around and go back home right now. This would be a great time to stop and just go back. Is he going to do that, though? It doesn't seem so. I was hoping that maybe Larva wouldn't take this seriously and that he would be able to get in here and deal some damage, but Larva does indeed build the necessary lings, and so this is not really going to do much. Oh, can he get a kill? Gets a drone. Yeah, Larva looking a little bit off here in this series. Must be playing on stream. Must be entertaining at the same time. It's the only reason I can give. He's making the right decisions for the most part. Just some of the micros just a little bit off. And it's funny because other times he looks like a genius with the micro. Like some of these surrounds with the lings are very impressive. But then other times just not pulling away drones when he should. He's already lost a drone in the main early on and a second one over at the third. He's in danger of having the same thing that happened last time. Last game happened to him again. If he's not able to react to these moves in time, we could see things like DT slipping in and storm drops dealing massive damage. Mutalisk on the way. Okay, he does have the gas at the third, but no gas at the natural, which is interesting. Trying to obfuscate a little bit. Looks like just 5 mutas with a pair of Scourge. That is going to force some response out of the Protoss player. Oh, he might catch this. There is a good chance that Larva catches this Corsair as it comes in. Is he going to be on top of it? He sees it. Yeah, he's got this Corsair. Corsair is dead. And multiple cannons will have to start in the main base to make sure that he doesn't straight up lose to this. The Corsair is in production, but the chase micro is good. Extra cannons here coming up in the main. Already had the double cannon. And so adding on a third, but is this too much of a reaction right now from our Protoss? I think he came in to the third and saw the gas here and maybe thought, you know, this could be an Ogre Zerg play. Wanted to go in and check, make sure. Did end up going for a little fly through there. Is he overcommitting to defending the Mutalisk attack now? Couple probes maybe going down there. Zealot's gonna come in for a counter. Not a lot of defenses right now, so this Zealot counter could actually do quite a bit. You gonna see it coming in. These Hydras? Yes, they are. Hydras. And so there is indeed a bit of an overcommittal here from Rich to dealing with these Mutalisks. Ooh, another drone goes down. Very good target fire there once again. Getting a couple of extra kills. Triple cannon in the main base. Just to keep himself alive against the Mutalisks. And only 5 Mutalisks were made. 4 maybe were made. So this is pretty reasonable for Larva. We'll see if he can leverage this spot to get himself a 4th base now. Has Lurker upgrade on the way. It's a bit faster than it was last time. I like it. 42 drones, not quite the number that you're looking for. We're looking for about 45. You can see there's a little oversaturation here at the 3rd base. So slightly off here with not too many drones at the natural. That is going to cut into the income ever so slightly. In fact, now it's a bit more of a problem here. Oh no, actually it's about the same. One drone extra at this base. A few drones missing from this base. And good saturation in the main. See if he fixes that coming up here soon. +1 armor is on the way. Scourge trying to connect. They do get that connection. Big connection there. And not able to get the follow-on attack to those mutas. Bunch of Dragoons being made right now. We're going to see Rich start to put on that pressure. I think this number of Hydras is going to be good, though. There's the full saturation now. Looks like full saturation at all 3 bases as this extra comes online, as this 4th base comes online. Additional hatcheries will need to be made. 2 more hatches up on this high ground. Not a bad idea at all. Now look, the players are going to be moving towards each other as they start to build out their future bases. And Protoss, I mean, they can come up through this area, push towards this base, and at the same time set up a base behind that. You can't really take 12 o'clock here as the Zerg player. It's very hard to do. You're going to try to run up on this high ground, running right up on top of this army, but eats a fat storm on these lurkers. That is pretty brutal. However, without any observers here, wait, where are the observers? Does he even have a robo? Doesn't have a robo. That's huge. No robo. He's going to have to use all of his storms to try and deal with this. And the Hydras are going to run forward to kill off some of these High Templar as well. Dude, he really made a huge mistake. You've got to be kidding me. No robo? Rich, there's no way. Rich doesn't make a robo. He just loses? What am I even watching? This guy just beat Larva in the last game. He beat Larva. He's 390 APM. And he's an S rank Protoss player. And he just didn't make a robo. What am I even looking at, guys? That is just crazy. All right, that's a little bit wild. Everybody makes mistakes, guys, but Protoss pit players make the dumbest mistakes. It is what it is. I'm just kidding with you guys. It's just funny how, to me, players can get to such a high level and still make silly mistakes like that on every race. Let's be honest, on every race. Players can still make crazy bad errors. Doesn't matter which race you're playing and at what level you're playing at. Everyone can still make those very bad, very silly errors. Gonna pull the probe in behind. Fake little cannon rush there. Just gonna try and fake him out a little bit. Not a bad move. Only forces 1 drone off the line though. No overreaction from Larva now. Could come over here, try to steal the minerals away, but there are 16 minerals in these patches. So would need to make 2 trips. Not really the most viable thing on this map. I believe it's block, almost loses that drone. I believe it's knockout where both the drone, there's two mineral fields, they're both 0. So it's possible to mine them both out and then put a lot of pressure on with the first few lings, because he can't block the ramp with just the probe plus Zealot. Trying his darndest to get this 3rd down is Larva right now, but the Zealot is going to get here and the probe wins that fight. So Larva may be forced to throw this hatch down at the natural here, top right. That would be painful. A few lings have been made in response to this early pressure. Zealot's staying up over here. And there's still no 3rd base down. He's at 18 supply. 18 supply, no 3rd base. Okay, he manages to outmaneuver this Zealot. And thus will get this hatchery on the way, but that was pretty scary. That was a lot of pressure. And this is throwing off his build by a lot here. Well, let's see if Larva can make up for that by getting some more good surrounds on these zealots, like we've seen from him previously. Get rid of some of these, put that pressure. Oh, there's a hole. Oh my gosh, there's a hole. Didn't even realize there was a hole there. I guess the probe got pulled to make the shield battery, and Larva just takes advantage of that. Oh, and he's gonna get the surround on the zealot too. Oh, it's so rough. The shield battery play is not gonna work out for Rich this time. He will kill the shield battery, and the Lings can try to run by now. Gonna actually get over here. Gonna try for the probe. Good pull to block there. Cannon gonna start over by the natural. A lot of probes being pulled is a very good idea right now for Rich. Catching a lot of these Lings in the corner, actually. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. The Lings are kind of stuck there now. Zealot made its way over to the top right, by the way. That's Zealot way far out there. Kind of an enemy territory right now. Overlord, hopefully that lives. Don't want to let the Overlord die. Oh, Link speed is done. Link speed is done. Run by into the main. Huge, huge run by into the main. Can start to go after these probes now with the Ling speed. Very scary moment right now for Rich, who's just sending one Zealot to try and deal with that. Oh, another Overlord coming in. Gotta be careful not to lose any of those. Zealot, not sure where that's going right now. It was the one over from the top right. 2 Lings end up falling, so only 2 Lings left here for Larva. 4 Lings, way scarier than 2, but did manage to get a probe out of that exchange. 4 Zealots heading across the map. Is Larva going to be prepared for that? 7 Lings, 7 sets of Lings, so 14 Lings on the way. He's definitely going to wipe out this army. No question in my mind, this Zealot army is 100% dead. Lings are going to hit from both sides now. Wipe this out. He's waited for all the Lings to come together. And in fact, a few more are going to pop out here soon. Looks like the Lings were finally killed there in the main base. Going after the spawning pool right now. Doing some damage to that. Lings are going to slip past. Oh, boy, kind of a mess up there from Larva. Bit of miscontrol here is allowing this spawning pool to get quite low. Try for the surround now. Not the greatest as he comes through these little cracks on the sides of the spawning pool, but he will bring up more forces to deal with this. This is about the worst clear up he could have done. I mean, Larva could have fought this at the bottom of the ramp, I think, and had a much better time of it. This is pretty bad right now. He made so many Lings to try and kill this, and he still hasn't been able to deal with it. 2 more drones go down in the natural. A 3rd dies in the natural. Another one here in the main. I think this is over. That is so much damage, guys. That was a really good play by Rich to go in behind the spawning pool and bait the attack, bait the fight behind the spawning pool. I mean, he's just put himself in an almost unlosable spot just from that move alone. There was a moment there where it seemed like Larva was just going to absolutely annihilate that. Was it 5 Zealots? And he was making 14 Lings, and he already had Lings out. It really did look like he was going to smash that, but the engagement behind the minerals was so poor that Larva is now nearly dead, very nearly dead. He could try to re-drone here on 4 hatcheries. 4 hatcheries does allow you a little bit more leeway when it comes to droning and comes to these type of situations. Can pop out a lot more units very quickly. A lot of drones can get out to the front. Could also try to go for the bus here. There's only 3 cannons. Just 3 cannons. 3 drones on the way, though. Not going to continue on with this bust. Another hatchery coming up. I don't know. I think this is very rough. I don't have a lot of hope for our Zerg player right now, even though I'm a huge fan of Larva. That engagement behind the minerals was... Yeah, that was not good, to say the least. Starting this evolution chamber, getting +1 attack upgrade on the way. Cannot deny the +1 here for Rich, unfortunately. I mean, he might have been able to do it had he come in and try to snipe this cannon, but then there's the problem of the zealots. They might be able to just overwhelm those hydras there. And taking them out will unleash the zealots back out onto the map. But here comes some more hydras. Let's see. Storm's not done yet. It's 9 minutes in. Storm should be done, but it's not quite there. So maybe there's hope for Larva. Yeah, he's going to dive on top of these cannons. He's got speed and range as well. Going to just jump on top of this. One cannon goes down. The zealots are falling really, really fast. The probes pulled off the line immediately are doing quite well, but the cannons are falling so quickly. One more cannon's going to finish, but GG is called. Wow. Just not respecting it there. Definitely the spot was insanely good for Rich. After all those early kills, he's got 40 probes, but just not quite respecting it here. Maybe the damage was more than I was thinking with the early kills. The early kills on the probes, but I still felt like this was a very good spot. Where's the Zealot speed, by the way? Did you just forget Zealot speed? Next to High Templar Storm, Zealot speed is the upgrade that you wouldn't want to forget in this matchup. You have to get Zealot speed. I'm really surprised that he doesn't have it. And also that past the 9-minute mark, he doesn't have High Templar Storm. He's just got the High Templars out now. And the Storm is going to be done at about that 9-minute 45. So just not in time. A little bit of sloppiness here from Rich. But I have to say that engagement was super good behind the mineral patches. I would have been so annoyed as a Zerg player dealing with that, excuse me. Look at this. At this point, actually, Larva's in a really good spot. Look at this. 21 drones to 20 probes. So he got quite a bit of damage with that Ling run by. Let's take a look at the total number of Lings. He's got 6 that are about to spawn over at the 3rd. 2 more here. And this is 4 here. So he's actually got... this is 8 plus 4. He's got 12 Lings, and there's only 5 Zealots. So technically he won't win the fight, but if he has a good surround, he should be able to kill multiple of the Zealots, and the follow-up Lings would be able to clear that. The Lings that are coming from the 3rd should be able to clear that. If he had taken the fight, I think right as the Zealots were coming into the base, like right around here, if he takes the fight with a good surround, you can't let the Lings kind of trail in like this. What you'd much rather do is try to surround with these Lings and then bait with these Lings and kind of pull back. And then once the Zealots come together, then you just take the full surround. But you can see a little bit faster on the draw here. Rich was able to get these back. And then Larva just didn't feel confident to take this fight anymore. He wanted to wait for more Lings. And so he lets the Zealots go behind the mineral patches, which seems okay. Going behind the mineral patches alone is not really that bad. But what really gets bad is once he takes the engagement here, that's when things really start to go south. Is when he tries to run through here and Rich manages to close off the attack, the angle of attack. I mean, these are Lings with speed. You should be able to take any sort of good engagement that you want as the Zerg player. You should be able to take the engagement when you want, where you want, for the most part. But he's kind of forced in this bad position where he wasn't really taking the best trade. Look at this part where the Lings are trying to sneak through this little gap. These Lings are trying to go through the top. They're not really getting any purchase. Lings are dying for free without dealing any damage at all. And then he's just kind of letting them run in haphazardly here and die. And so in the end, it was something like 18 Lings, 20 Lings, dies to about 5-6 Zealots. It's crazy how much work these Zealots did. It's just a shame for Rich that he didn't build enough cannons back at home afterwards. Now that I'm looking at this, the drone number is pretty good. This is a really chaotic game. Hard to tell exactly where both players were at, but let's just see after the drone kills here. Oh, he got so many kills. Guys, that's so much damage. They were about even on workers, and he's down to 18. That's so much damage. How do you not build a whole bunch of cannons here, Rich? How do you not get Zealot speed as well? That's crazy. We're gonna jump into our next game. Sorry for the long-winded after part of that, but let's just jump right in. All right, Larva's starting off with a 9 pool in this next game. He's down here bottom left. Rich getting into a gateway. This could be a pretty good counter. Is this 9 pool speed, or is he going to cancel? This is 9 pool speed. Interesting. And this is going to get scouted first. If there was a forge here, 2 cannons and another cannon in the main would probably be the best call. Just completely shut this out. Even the run by, not going to end up working in that case. But with the gateway, it could get a little scary. We'll see. See if he's able to hang on. Gonna make a forge right away. Forge is way out. That's kind of funny. Usually we see players put the forge quite a bit further back these days, but he decides to put the forge kind of on the outside. Maybe that gives the Zealot a better position. I'm not sure. Makes it harder to hit the pylon potentially. I'm not exactly clear on that. What the plan is, what the reason is behind that. Gonna start the cannon now. Second Zealot about to pop. Here comes the Lings. Lings gonna go for the probes here at the top, no doubt. Can they get in here though? Oh, very good job with the Zealot and probe combo. Oh, gotta be super careful with that Zealot, man. If that gets surrounded, he's gonna get cooked really quick. Zealot doing some work. Oh, again, gotta be super careful. I don't see speed on the way. Oh, he goes for a layer. Wow, layer on the way here for Larva. So Larva opens 9 pool speed, cancels the speed, or doesn't make the speed, and then goes into layer. Great catch there on the ramp as well. Rich really wanted to get in there to see what's going on, but very good decision to make that extra pair of Lings. Now there's no vision. He has no idea that this is what's coming. We're going to see, I believe, a Spire here from Larva and just try to go all in with the 2 hatch Muta. Could also be a lurker play, but actually now that the layer's this far along, it's not going to be that lurker play. It's going to be 2 hatch Spire. Now 2 hatch Spire is very all in this matchup. It's just, there's no other way to look at it. You need that 3rd hatchery, and especially you need that 3rd base to take things longer in this game. What he's planning to do is just make a ton of mutas and just try to overwhelm immediately. There's a good chance he makes a bunch more Lings too, and just maybe go after the cannon immediately. Second cannon here. Oh, he's building a cannon next to the mineral line where it also kind of covers the first cannon. and the wall. So this is a really smart cannon here from Rich. He's well aware of what the options are, what could be coming his direction. Now, it could be something crazy, some sort of Hydra bust off of 2 hatches. It could also be a lurker bust, but by far the most likely is going to be that 2 hatch spire. Larva could have also hidden a hatchery somewhere, right? Like, he might have just gone for the ling speed and then hidden the hatch, but he actually saw that ling speed wasn't done, so he knows there's something's up for sure. Continuing to build zealots. Oh no, he's actually paused on the zealot production. He wants to get a few more probes out here, get that extra cannon, and finish up the Stargate. 5 mutas on the way. Those mutas are going to be popping and arriving at the base as the first Corsair is being made. You can see a pair of Scourge are being made for that first Corsair. Let's see if he goes straight to the main and brings the Scourge along, because that just might be checkmate. Double cannon in main. Oh my goodness. Rich is doing a great job. This might actually flop completely on its face. He will make a 3rd hatchery as kind of a backup plan. Like, for example, maybe you just get a ton of probe kills here, but you're not able to get the win. Then maybe there's an opportunity to switch out of this play. And in that case, he wants to have that extra base coming online. 3, 4 extra probes end up going down. He goes after the Scourge, but not able to, or goes after the Corsair with the Scourge, not able to get it. This is a complete flop on the side of Larva, but it's not technically over yet. There are opportunities for him, especially if he can snipe some of these Corsairs. If he can get some kills on the Corsairs, then it really delays the ability of Rich to move out anytime soon. Slows him down by a lot. If, however, he's able to just keep making Corsairs non-stop, get a couple extra gateways out, get this zealot speed going, then things are going to get very, very bad for Larva. He just doesn't have the production behind this to do something like switch out of muta production, get into some Hydras. Like, we can see he's just adding on the extra hatcheries. He really hasn't added too many drones here just yet. He's doing a good job of bullying these Corsairs, but he's not getting the kills. And without the kills on the Corsairs, eventually that number is going to become large enough. This is some crazy micro from Ridge. I definitely don't think that's worth putting that little bits of damage on, trading with the mutas here and there. You just need to get to the critical mass. Once you got about 6, 7 Corsairs, it's almost impossible for the mutas to engage. And so the Zealots can do their work. Once the mutas are pushed out of the way. 6th hatch coming up. Not a hint of a Hydralist transition just yet. More Mutalist production as armor comes online. Dark Templar being made, but it could be just for the Dark Archon. There goes a Corsair. I'm a big believer that you should, in a situation like this, build a shield battery and just use it for the Corsairs, but I never see Protoss players do that. See so many situations like this where there's a muta player and they're trying desperately to get a little bit of damage on these Corsairs and gear up for like a big assault to try and overwhelm. And the Corsair player, the Protoss player, never really getting the shield battery to just give those Corsairs a bit more longevity. Here comes more Scourge. Overlord a little bit out of position here. Oh my gosh. So the tiny bit of economy that Larva's put together is now just going to be completely thrown away. Scourge here in the main base, diving on top of all of these cannons. The Psionic Storm is not done. We do have a High Templar. Psionic Storm not quite finished here. Did manage to get rid of the Dark Templar, so he is going to be able to mine in the main once again. Or, excuse me, at the third once again. An Archon has been made. Gonna try to push this away. Can he get the kill on the High Templar, or on the Temple Archives? Doesn't matter. Storm upgrade is done. That Storm upgrade being done. He should be okay. Scourge, okay. Getting some connections. Oh, Archon with 6 kills already. Killing a lot of these mutas. Can he actually get the kill on this? Oh my gosh, 9 health. He will get that. Big kill right there. Killing another Corsair as well. Scourge come in. Can he get the big hits on this? Oh my goodness, getting so many kills. So many kills on these Corsairs. This is actually doable right now for Larva. Despite all the damage that was done, he got enough work done with that. A group of mutas and Scourge. You can see there's not enough Corsairs, so he can just deal with this with the mutas. He's built more mutas. He's got sunken colonies. And these zealots are going to come out. They're not going to be able to run home, actually. He should dive on top of these, start to kill them off. But he's just staying back at home, letting the zealots escape. That's a little bit unfortunate there. I guess he doesn't want to reveal that he's built this many mutas just yet. Until he dives the main again. Looks like he's going to dive the main again. Try to just kill the rest of the Corsairs. The Archon there, though, is going to make that very hard. 9 kills on that Archon. That Archon is going to be very important in this upcoming fight. Photon Cannon finishing up here soon. And here comes that dive. Going for it. Can he get some connections? Very good connections. Oh my goodness. Excellent connections on that. Almost every Corsair goes down, so really keeping that Corsair count low. This is exactly what I was talking about before, with what Larva needs to do to keep himself relevant in this game, is just kill Corsairs again and again, and then the Zealots can't really move out, and you're not going to be able to move out with a High Templar either. Just making pure Archon and going with the Zealot attack, it might actually have been the best call in a situation like this. But of course, Larva can just make a bunch of sunken colonies. He's already killing a lot of probes right now. You can see getting way ahead of Rich now by just cranking down these probe numbers. We will be getting in that hive now as well. Hidden base over at center right. Plus, he's managed to grab a 4th down at bottom right. Bunch of sunken colonies being made here on the high ground. Knows he just needs to keep himself safe right now. Waiting for that lurker aspect upgrade to finish and getting into hive. He's managed to delay the 3rd by quite a lot with all of these shenanigans. Might even be able to get that probe. No, looks like he can't get it. Zealot heading down towards bottom right, it looks like. Gonna go and look for additional bases down there. Not going to find them, but might be able to find this base. We'll see. Lurkers being made now. Do we have a observatory? There's the Robo on the way, but observatory is not visible at the moment. Doesn't really seem like he's going for that. Zealot here completely whiffing on the scout. Over to this base. This 4th base gonna go completely unscouted. 59 workers for Larva. Would be very hard for him to lose the game at this point. But we'll see. Gonna go up to 68 workers. So many workers right now. His income is going to be ghastly. Huge, huge income. Killing off some more probes as well. Kind of impressed how Larva's managed to navigate this early game and find his way into the mid and late game in a very good spot. Opening with 9 pool speed and not getting in to deal any damage is rough. Oh, this is on hold position. Oh my god, the hold position play here is so disgusting. Oh my goodness. So much goes down here. That was amazing. Tons of damage. Not that many kills, but huge damage from these lurkers. Hold position lurker. Not as good against Protoss as it is against Terran, but still doing absolute work here and putting him into a better and better position. 2 more gases are being taken. We could see Ultras this game. It's viable at this point. With this many gases and so many drones, one thing he actually needs to do is start to spread overlords, because I'm not seeing a lot of vision on the map right now for Larva. Having some overlords over in this top right. He hasn't even scouted top right at all. Put overlords here. Put here as well. Get an overlord over here. Really start to figure out, or start to cover all the bases. Make sure that the position is as you think. That it is indeed the position that you want to be in, and that DTs are not going to get dropped into your main and just absolutely ruin your day. Just going to fall back into the natural here. Quite a few lurkers, a lot of sunken colonies. Again, feeling like he just needs to survive. As long as he stays alive here, he should be okay. Just don't die now. That's a lot of lurker eggs morphing on the high ground. How many now? 8 lurkers are being made? 8 lurkers on the way is a lot. So just need to buy time for that. Consume, of course, as well. Huge upgrade. Let's take a look. +1/+1 is done. Only +1 attack for the Protoss. So Protoss lagging behind in terms of upgrades as well. A lot of sunken colonies up here. More lurkers, sunkens, and spores over at this base. Everywhere he turns, there is some huge defensive positions from Larva. And so with this hidden base still remaining hidden, Larva's position just getting better and better. 70 workers now. And change the colors here so that we can see plagues, because they're going to be coming up in a moment. Get the purple Zerg out, the blue Protoss player. Yeah, he sees everything. He just says GG. I don't know if he even saw this base, honestly. Not really sure. But he is feeling completely deflated here. He's not going to be able to get the win, and so he taps out. All right, our final game for this video, guys. Bit of chatter back and forth between these two, but I'm not really sure what they're talking about. Hard to figure out which game this was, because there's just so many games between these two. But regardless, we've got Larva over here. He's going to be opening up with an 11 hatchery play, so total switch up from him from that last game. Last game, of course, went for the 9 pool speed. Switched it from speed into layer after getting scouted and played a great game. Honestly, I was pretty impressed by how he handled that. Very tough spot when you get no damage out of your initial lings with the 9 pool, but congratulations to him for that recovery. Now in a pretty good spot here with the 11 hatch. Will he have a little bit better control against the Zealot? Because it really does seem like Rich has some great Zealot control and awareness as well. Like, aware of where he should be and the position. Very good positioning in the fights and handling of these early game situations. Third hatchery has not yet gone down. Could end up getting blocked here. Need to block. Can he get it? Oh, he gets it. Huge. Really important that he actually managed to get that. Drone here is going to be hit by the probe and zealot, and the probe zealot combo is doing a lot of damage to this hatchery, really making it hard here for Larva. He wants to try and push that back if he can. We'll make a bunch of lings now. In fact, a lot of lings on the way. Trying to go across the map and maybe get something going here in the natural. Oh, this is kind of scary right now for Rich. He might actually lose this game. He's got 2 zealots and a probe out on the map with about 6 lings coming into his natural. 6 lings in the natural and non-stop ling production back at home as well, by the way. Probes go down on the ramp. He's going to lose 2. And here goes a 3rd as well. Should be able to get that. Not going to. He does in the end. So quite a bit of probe damage there. Looks like these zealots are hanging in. But they're going to try to run into the natural. Oh gosh, he's dealing with something back at home. Yeah, the lings are chasing a probe. 1 HP on that. Gonna run back up into the main. Yeah, this is kind of cooked, guys. This Protoss player has absolutely fallen apart. And that's just the nature of this matchup, guys. Sometimes the zealots pull you apart. And sometimes the lings end up winning over the zealots. Getting in on top of the probes and just doing so much damage. He's actually going to go after the cannon now. Oh, there goes the cannon. Rough situation here as more lings get into the main. 4 zealots are alive. 1 at the 3rd. 26 HP on that. Quite a few idle drones and idle lings over at the natural. That's to be expected in a situation like this where you're micring on multiple fronts, trying to keep everything rolling and keep everything alive. Very, very tough to keep the balls juggling, to juggle all those different tasks at the same time. Ling's here waiting for these 3 zealots at the natural. Is he going to have another miracle where he kills just an insane number of lings with just a few zealots? It's a little bit more of an even match right now, but again, he's just got to buy some time. And GG, he says, and he's going to go into the next one, guys. But that'll have to wait for the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And big shout outs to those of you who came to the stream, said happy birthday, donated on PayPal as well. A few of you guys joined up on Patreon recently. I don't want to say the names of people because I don't know if they want their names to be said, but big shout out to you guys who donated on PayPal. Really appreciate the birthday gifts and the birthday wishes. And also a shout out to Smackria. Smackria on the stream today gifted about 7 subs, and it was just moments before my OBS crashed. So I was really kind of sorry that I wasn't able to thank him for that. But he's always in the channel, and we're going to be streaming again tomorrow, so we'll say hi to him and let him know what happened. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one.